leave it to the professionals.
Blessed by Bundy, blah, blah, blah.
Started off with a bit, now I got coin. I see where y'all going. Been poppin' since Web 1, hella hoes on Web 2. I was living a dream, now I'm on Web 3. And it is what it seems, topping the pyramid schemes, I'm telling you. I'll sell you a percentage on Nebula. Shout out to Vince, he'll set it up.
Surfing on the web and I'm shooting at 3. I've been goated when I got my G. I'm an alien boy from a different planet, yeah. So I got my drink, I'm riding in the 1920s Model T Ford. Call her Era Lord. Call me Levi playing on the keys, boy. And I'm about to put my gloves on. If I said it, then I meant that. Yeah, I like that one, I'm about to get that. Crash that whip for the drumsticks, whiplash. I'm about to get them all. Are you with that? In a white boat, surrounded by blue. I want one, but I got a cop too. I wanna fly high in the sky, arms out wide, trying to soar from a bird's eye view. I'm on fire, Ricky, Bobby, cracking the pavement, Whitney, Bobby. I'm a Saki bomb, Hiroshima, Nagasaki. Bruce Wayne been a dog, and I keep it 101, cause I'm feeling kinda spotty. You sipping on some rock, and I'm sipping on octane. The only thing around my neck is the
Started off with a
blockchain.
bit, now I got coin. I see where y'all going. Been poppin' since Web 1, hella hoes on Web 2. I was living a dream, now I'm on Web 3. And it is what it seems, topping the pyramid schemes, I'm telling you. I'll sell you a percentage on Nebula. Shout out to Vince, he'll set it up.
NFT, Twitter, blockchain. Seeing with the ghosts and we ballin' like the Brown James. Crypto. We can make a trade, get the memo. Refuse not falling for the FOMO. Listening to Coffee with Captain. You know we worldwide, they loco. I ain't never gonna stop rapping. Orlando, yeah, we working magic. We rocking Ethereum NFTs. I just went and caught me a half base. Man, I got a shout out
Started
to
off with a
40.
bit, now I got coin. I see where y'all going. Been poppin' since Web 1, hella hoes on Web 2. I was living a dream, now I'm on Web 3. And it is what it seems, topping the pyramid schemes, I'm telling you. I'll sell you a percentage on Nebula. Shout out to Vince, he'll set it up.
Freaking the mood to choose one, but they got knowledge to move, son. I'm shocking in shades with my brother in suits, yeah, them blues is coming. Even though it's hard to pick, eeny, mighty, mo, soda on the mix, no biting lips, it's time to go. Index number 1, no thumbs up, you gotta scroll. Looking at the ghost in studio, it's time to go. I had a helmet on by myself until I met a mask that wanted to have a face off. So I had to bring my chainsaw, full tank of gas in the drive with my brakes off. I'm A1, but a different kind of steak sauce.
Welcome to Coffee with Captain, powered by ApeChain, where we dive into all things crypto, NFTs, Web3, and cutting-edge technology. Remember, nothing here is financial advice. Early-stage tech can be exceptionally volatile and risky. So grab your coffee and join Cap and Steve for today's conversation.
Welcome to the future.
Welcome to Coffee with Captain, I think. Can you hear me on audio spaces?
Yeah, thumbs up us if you can hear us on the audio space. I know there's a little bit of a delay. Looks like it's coming through. I think I hear it coming through.
Warren really let me down this morning. I don't know what the hell's going on there. Shout out to Thomas. Like, usually we get 15 people that jump in to help when I need a mic check, and Warren is just sleeping, I guess, this morning.
Yeah. I think we're in I think we're in good shape though.
Before I go, I need a confirmation that the audio spaces is working just fine. Everyone looks like we're getting thumbs up. So
you didn't do your abstract video this morning though, it looks like.
I just started it. Started it. I forgot to change the title. Sounds like we're coming through. How is the yeah, we're getting a bunch of thumbs ups in the audio spaces. So I'm guessing we're doing okay there. How is the quality? Does it sound like normal, or does it sounds
really good to me?
Right, let's roll with it.
So everything's connected. So what'd you do differently?
Well, we're cordless. We went old school Bluetooth. So it's not optimal audio quality. Payne's going to be a little upset on the recording, but kid you not, like, yeah, I my troubleshooting, I thought that one of these little this is a piece that's needed to pull off this entire contraption. I've got like 17 cables hooking into different things here. This little lightning cable.
Hold up. You know what? I need to search around. I think I have one of, is that like I may have one of that's not into a USB-C, right?
It's Lightning.
Lightning. Okay.
And this is the problem. The problem. Like, here's the original. Here's the one that I was using. Lightning to 3.5 millimeter jack. You can see now the problem is they don't make this anymore. Apple stopped making it. They only make USB-C to 3.5 jack now because that's the new iPhones. The old ones, like, and I have like, I don't know, a 14 Pro or something, it is Lightning instead of USB-C. So you can see on all the, I kid you not, I bought 8 of these cables yesterday. 8. I tried 8. We tested 8 of them this morning. None of them worked. So thank God Amazon returns are easy. But you can see the difference between OEM on the top here and aftermarket on the bottom. They're not the same size. They shouldn't matter. They should work. Long story short, they work fine if you need it as like an aux cable, but for whatever reason, it just doesn't work with the Rodecaster. And so, long story short, I have to find a 3.5 to 3.5 millimeter to Lightning cable adapter that's OEM.
Okay, so I may have you covered. I think I have one of those. So I used to have a pair with my Beats by Dre that back in the day. When I would listen to, I don't know why I had to say by Dre. Apple might have acquired them. No, I think they're Beats by Dre still.
Still are, yeah, I think so.
But I think they even were back then like super by Dre. Like they weren't necessarily done that. So, by the way, give us a like, a retweet, a comment in the room. We've been troubleshooting the tech thing. So what Cap's running through, if you're listening to the space, there's a single tiny audio cable that you plug a sort of traditional set of headphones into that would then be a Lightning cable. Apple went from Lightning to USB-C, as he's saying. So because of that, this cable doesn't exist anymore. I may have one to send to you, which is actually interesting timing because I need to get your address for something anyway, because somebody DM'd me about potentially sending a fun little care package. And they asked me to collect your address. So text me your address again after the show. I know you've sent it to me a gazillion times, but I want to get it handy. But I'm going to look around because I literally I think I was using my Beats to go travel. Remember when I traveled with my mom and I traveled a lot in June? I had my Beats because we were streaming. And then I realized I couldn't use them because I gotta remember why I couldn't use them for some reason, but like they didn't work for some reason. Oh, they weren't charged. But when I opened it up, I had one of those in it because back in the day when I used to travel on flights a lot, I've gone to the AirPods exclusively now because they have a good enough sound cancellation. So I think somewhere in my room, it's going to be like finding a needle in a haystack, but I don't think I threw it away for whatever reason. I think I have this cable. If not, Dawn may have one, and we will get it over to you and we will get this fixed and we will duct tape it.
The irony is not lost on me that I'm looking here. If you count the Rodecaster, the phone, the MacBook, like not quite $5,000 worth of equipment. That's really high. I mean, like maybe brand new pricing, maybe like $4,000 of everything. And it's a $8 cable is the issue.
Yeah, it reminds me of I feel like, was it when the power like went out in like the eastern seaboard of the United States and it was like a squirrel dicking around on a power line? Like we thought our grid was attacked and it turned out it was some sort of like very, very benign thing. Do you remember this? Like it was God, it must have been like 15 years ago or something. There was like this huge power outage on like the eastern seaboard, like New York, all these places. Like I think we experienced it in Ohio. It was like a huge power outage. Everyone's like, the grid has been attacked. The terrorism has come. And it was like something like very benign, like like something as simple as like a minor. It wasn't like a squirrel screwing around, but it was something relatively minor where it was like they didn't update some power lines. They wood shoot out and it fell over or something. 2003 says be epic. So it was 21 years ago. Jesus Christ.
Jeez,
that's right. Mesh says North Korean squirrels. Good point. I like the thick in there. Mesh messes are people.
Speaking of things that are broken, I hate to say this, but I think we've gotten rugged by Stream. They've been unresponsive. The thing's not worked. It's not connected. I don't know if they didn't pay their X API bill or what, but it's not worked for a few days now. I sent a message to the team, unresponsive. Sounds like the Discord is having a meltdown like 2021 NFT mint style. And I don't know what to say. I apologize to anyone that's been grinding those stream drops. It looks like we were just doing that for fun. I was expecting at least some sort of, I had not like extreme expectations of anything, thousands of dollars, but I thought we'd get a nice little stimmy for our listeners who've been playing. And I mean, they're funded. They're funded by like Animoca and a few other, decent crypto native businesses and funds behind them, but not looking good. Maybe it's just a hiccup, but the lack of response doesn't have me too confident. But shout out to Be Epic and Von Front. And I appreciate the tips today. Actually, the tips today are like extra special because it was supposed to be Steve's day in Abstract. He has a early out, so basically it's a double whammy. Every tip today in Abstract, it's not only it's meaningful for me, you're literally taking from Steve and giving to me. So it's greatly appreciated. It penalizes Steve for him bouncing an hour early today.
Yeah, it's definitely I like thought about it, and then Cap was like, I could just leave Cap on the stream and because maybe I'll come back. I don't know, it just depends on the timing, but probably not. So probably heard on at 9.
I didn't even share with you. Like I think I believe we have a guest joining us at 9 today too. A new making its way around the Twitterverse, and shout out Mesh. Mesh was I think he gets the assist on this one. So we'll see. I need to confirm before I say that. I'll confirm, make sure that the team, but I think they're going to join us right when you head out. And so it'll be a smooth transition there. Lurky. They're think of like Info5, but actually counting spaces and video and stuff.
Fuck
They've
yeah,
been around the chat for a while. I kind of blew them off. I didn't know if it was like legit or not. And seemingly they've continued to build. So yeah, gave them a follow back, chatted with the team, and yeah, I think they will. I think they're going to join us around 9 today.
That's perfect. I'm glad they're jumping in.
They're familiar though. You've seen it.
Yeah. I was like looking at the platform.
Yeah.
We need to figure out. They're running some sort of a campaign or some sort of a thing that I got to get involved in. I don't understand how to sign up. I clicked around on it, but I couldn't figure it out. It says I have
You've done more than me. You've done more than me, but I will. There's actually a couple things we need to get. We need to stop talking. We need to figure that out because I did the same thing. I haven't played around on our site yet, but they're doing a campaign that I think will be good for not only us but our listeners, more importantly. And I don't know. Have you done Towns? Have you got your Towns account set up and everything?
No.
We need to stop sleeping on that because their TGE is
today, right?
They are tomorrow, and like you get. I'm pretty sure it's not just Moonbirds. I think Mythics have like Moonbirds get like it's right now at their current pre-market value. It's like over $2,000 airdrop for every Moonbird. I'm guessing Mythics might be like $200 maybe, assuming they're included. But beyond that, like I think Town's doing some good stuff, and that's one we should should stop sleeping on as well.
Yeah, a lot of people talk
about they've been supporting us from the jump. So it's not that Town's account, the official brand account's in here a few times a week.
Yeah, I need to, although I just went to log in with X and it did not work, probably because they're airdrop today. So a lot of people are doing that. I need to connect some wallets. I mean, the problem is, I think anyway, you need to connect wallets. And like a lot of the stuff where they're like the Towns are for, it's like, they support Delegate, which is good. So I'm going to see if the Delegate links both of my wallets. When I link...
for me, I don't know what's going on. Like Delegate used to just work flawless for me. I've got one hot wallet that I use, and everything else that it's important, I've just delegated to it. It used to be flawless. I didn't have to do anything. It just worked. And
I'm a little bit embarrassed I haven't set anything up here yet because that was really easy. I went to link wallet that supports Delegate. I linked my hot wallet or my warm wallet, and it linked both of my accounts. So like I should get credit for everything right there. So there you go. We and it's got like the towns you can explore for free, the ones you can join for a little bit of money. So I need to look at it. Yeah, I've seen some stuff on there. I've gotten the like the download on it. I just need to like dive in a little bit deeper on it. Like I get the idea, and it's like built, it's sort of like communities built for Web3. It's a cool idea, and like I think similar to how I'm really bullish on like
how is it different than Discord or Telegram?
I think it's like built from the ground up with the in mind of token gating, monetizing, ways to like almost subscribe to join, ways to pay to join.
Isn't Telegram similar though? Can you do the same stuff with Telegram?
I don't think so. I don't think Telegram's quite as sophisticated there. I don't think it's made with that back end quite the same. So I'm excited. We'll get them on at some point. I think we should post TGE for sure. See what that's about. I haven't been doing TGE things of things in sorts on there, so I probably won't be
getting them looking tan. I think it's I can't. This is hilarious. I'm having a week. The This little thing has been the bane of my existence. This like I'm gonna tape this on my MacBook just to remember, like, don't get frustrated over little things like 2-inch long cables. This thing has been the bane of my existence, and I lost the remote for my LED lights, so we're going without the lights. But I guess if it's the salmon shirt combined with the lack of lights. As soon as I said salmon shirts, do you know who I thought of?
Ryan Carson, but that's not dude, that's not salmon. That is pink. At least the way it's coming across, like that is not salmon, that is Barbie summer pink. Like if the Barbie movie were coming out, I'd be like, why didn't you split the wealth? I would wear the pink too. So that's what that is. I need to work more color into my life. I get compliments when I wear color. I tend to be black and gray a little bit. Black's my favorite color to wear, but my son, I noticed this on too. We got him a couple green sweatshirts, a couple light blue sweatshirts recently. Pops on the kid, looks good in it. So probably need to bust out more color. Whenever I do, I get more compliments, but there's not enough color in Web3. Most people do black and gray. Also, I spill coffee. So like I have a buddy who makes t-shirts and he's making me a like Los Pollos Hermanos t-shirt or Monos t-shirt. Or is that it? Yeah. And from Breaking Bad. And he's like, what color? And he offers me like 27 color options. And I'm like, I got to go with the black. And I didn't tell him. I don't think I told him. The reason is I spill coffee way too often. So
occasionally I spill coffee on my shirt, but you know where I spill coffee most frequently?
Where's that?
I'm a wreck. Like I spill so much coffee on the floor because I fill up my coffee. I should feel like half full and I don't. And I don't know, man. Like the whole like move fast and break things. It's like, it's not just a phrase. Like it's how I live my life. Like I walk fast. I talk fast. I walk fast with coffee in my hand. I fill up my coffee. Then I take my dog out and I open the door and he sees a squirrel. And I'm like, I probably pour coffee, like not just a little drip, like a good amount of coffee on the floor at least twice a week.
Yeah, it gets right on me. Like I was wearing, and thankfully I think I got it out.
The primary reason I have wood floors is because the office actually is carpeted, and yeah, I'm sure there's like 17 coffee stains on this floor. All the other floors you can't tell because it's easier to clean up. But yeah, the coffee, like my ability to spill coffee on a regular basis, it prevents me from having carpet or ever installing carpet in a home again.
Yeah, I think your reason for having wood floors is the same reason I wear black clothing, because the coffee stains don't show up. So handshake emoji on that one. That's just my, like the Good Vibes Club, the really nice white Good Vibes t-shirt or sweatshirt and t-shirt for that matter. I will not wear out to eat. I will not wear to drink. I mean, I can't wear out of the house because I will, if I do decide to go to that Penn State whiteout with Bunchu, maybe I'll wear it to the Penn State whiteout. Although that's a terrible idea. That's guaranteed to get screwed up. Yeah, no, I literally got a cold brew. I'm down to the bottom where it's just like the ice. I take the top off. I go to sip it. Coffee explosion all over the shirt, like, little drips. So anyway, I am an absolute
How about this? I'm actually drinking out of the Move Fast and Break Things mug today. I did not plan this. I just realized this after the fact.
Yeah, it's for sure. It's
and cold brew. I'm on a cold brew kick. I'm not a cold brew person. I like my coffee hot, and I've shared before. Like I shop at TJ Maxx or buy, like this was an Amazon Prime special, Steve. This was like just Nautica t-shirts, and I don't know, it was like a 3-pack for $20 or something. Like sweet. Yeah. I also am a sucker for the Publix buy one get one free, and they had some bougie cold brew coffee that's all the Zoomers are drinking, all the kids are drinking, and it was buy one get one free. And so
I like how you're like talking about cold brew coffee like it's a thing that's a phenomenon for Zoomers. It's amazing.
Well, this brand is very much a Zoomer. Like you know how I know it's a Zoomer brand is as soon as my daughter saw it in the fridge, like, oh, you got the good coffee. It's like she's dialed into like whatever's cool in the world of the younger kids, and this is the cool coffee. So I'll go grab it here in a second and show you, because it's apparently, if you want to be hip and cool, this is the coffee you drink now. It's also extremely caffeinated. It's like concentrated coffee. So like a small 10-ounce, 12-ounce mug is like nearly 300 milligrams of caffeine. So it's probably not a good thing that our younger kids are growing up to be extremely caffeinated.
Yeah, maybe not. Shout out Jambert in the chat, and then we'll dive in for a second here. Said straight black coffee all the way. Same Jambert. Apparently Ohioans straight black coffee. Well, Cap straight black coffee, unless Andrew Huberman says to throw a stick of butter in it, and then Cap's all over that. But like outside of that,
Yeah, that's not even like coffee. That's like a supplement for me if I do the upgraded coffee. Yeah, I guess the base is coffee, but I don't do that every day. I'll just cycle through it and I'll get into my kick. I haven't done it for a while, but if I'm just drinking just coffee, if you drink good coffee, like black coffee should be enough. Like you shouldn't have to pour a bunch of creamer in it. It's good coffee is good. By the way, I think I'm gonna have the best coffee in the world today. I've got a lunch meeting and I found a new Cuban cafe in St. Pete. So I think colada is on my agenda today. So I should go easy on the caffeine this morning because I'm probably going to have like 1,000 milligrams around lunch.
I know what those coladas are like. I was ready to climb a fucking tree when you gave me one for the first time. We did a live show. So Cap and I did a live show down at Art Basel in Miami at Fun Dimension. And a bunch of people showed up. We had coladas. We had some breakfast. It was a nice little event. Had some good people show up. And I literally was like looking at a tree being like, I bet I could climb that tree. Like it gives you, it is. And problem is I think I had one and they're so small that I think I had two, maybe even three at that point. And I just like, it's just like it sneaks up on you. It's like sort of like when you take an edible and you don't feel it. And so then you take another edible and then you're like, uh-oh. So I think like I did that with coladas. So yeah, Cat, be careful because there's like a Judd Apatow movie of me having a colada in a business meeting and ruining everything for everyone that exists out in the wild somewhere probably. So
if you're not familiar with coladas, this is how they're authentically served is in like a small, this isn't even a full styrofoam cup. This is like a short styrofoam cup, like 4 ounces. And then they give you these small, like little, I don't know, what would you call the little cups? Like it's like a shot glass. It's like a little mini shot glass, but even smaller. Get like creamer in at like a restaurant, like that size of a cup. That's how you're like, it's a social thing. Like you're supposed to like, when I got introduced to coladas, I was in Miami. I had stores I had phone repair urgent cares inside of BrandSmart. It's like a 6-7 store regional Best Buy. And we were there one day and every afternoon, like, I don't know who she was, like one of the people that worked there. She was just, I don't know her actual position, but her important position was she was the colada lady. And every afternoon she'd bring around coladas and she'd give everyone, you want a colada. And so it's like, it's a very like social drink. You're supposed to drink it by just a little shot, like one shot and you're good. I work hard. I play hard. I drink coffee hard. So like when I order a colada, I don't share. I'll get the whole thing and take it to the dome. And this is a G-rated show. It's not. We'll say PG-13. We don't drop the F-bomb too frequently. So I think we can avoid R rating. The closest thing I could compare, from my understanding, what I've been told, that a colada is another substance that people use to get highly energetic and I don't know. I'm not comfortable going here, but it's like it's the strongest coffee you've probably ever had in your life. That's all I'll say. And it tastes good. It's loaded with sugar. It's probably not the healthiest thing to drink, at least on a regular basis. But man, if you like caffeine and you like energy, if you like, some people prefer like harder substances that are white. This is like the closest thing to that is legal. Yeah.
No, it's up there. But I saw Joey come up. I'm gonna hit the GMs and then a couple.
By the way, we're with Captain. We ran right into tech issues. Did not even do our proper opening. Appreciate everyone being here. Give us a GM in the chat if you haven't done so already. Head up top, hit the like, the repost, the bookmark on today's space. The carousels all the way to the right if you haven't hit those reminders yet. The X video is up top. X abstract feed already popping off. The tips are flowing in over there, and I will link the YouTube up top here in a second. Sorry, Steve. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, hitting all the GMs. Thanks to everybody who jumped up. I'm at least pulling the comments onto stage as we go. We'll go to Joey here. And then, like I said, I got a hard out in about a half hour. So we'll dive into some news, probably update my little DeFi journey as we go. Like, good little segment on the show that we're continuing to do,
I laughed out loud. Did you hear Raheem on Modern Market this morning?
No, what'd I miss?
He was just talking about DeFi, and it's like taking off again. He's like, there's people who haven't even gotten in DeFi yet, and they're educating other people on DeFi. It's like he got all excited about like the people, like I don't think he was directly talking about you, but it was just like I laughed because it was like, oh, like this is Steve's journey right now. It's like people who are educating as they, and by the way, I think this is how a lot of people should educate, is get in the weeds, learn, bring others along with you. I think it's great. It was just like how he said it just made me chuckle.
Like he was basically saying these people don't know what they're talking about and they're charlatans. Was that the implication?
I mean, he wasn't saying that. It was like You got people who've never been in the DeFi streets before now educating other people on DeFi, as it's like this is like an inflection point. Like, I'm doubling down. I think we're going to get a DeFi summer too. I think we're going to get a second DeFi summer. Or
I have thoughts on that. Come back to that in a second because I agree with that. And by the way, Raheem's like my guy, and I know he would never say it about me. And the other thing is like I'm not approaching it.
He didn't say it about you. I'm saying it about you.
No. But I think like he even wouldn't be saying it in a way of like, oh my God, like this guy is like trying to pretend he knows everything. It's actually the opposite. I don't know stuff, and I'm gonna like try to like talk about it as I learn and be very transparent about that. But I know Joey Vowles is up here, so I want to get Joey in here, and then we will come back to the DeFi summer thing because I have some thoughts.
Joey, GM.
GM guys. Yeah, I came up on the Colada conversation because I used to work at nightclubs in South Beach, and literally right before we would open, one of the like bus boys or like bar backs would go like two doors down and pick up the styrofoam cup full of colada,
usually like
and
a
then
bodega.
would walk around.
Usually like a bodega, or it's like a Cuban cafe connected to like a 7-Eleven. I mean, there's also like Miami Subs. There's like also like fine restaurants that serve coladas, but usually like the authentic coladas is like the food shop next to the gas station, right?
Yeah, it's like the little Cuban bakery that sells like pastelitos, and like they have like a little walk-up window, and it's like someone's grandma. And
best empanada you ever had. Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure. So, and he would come and he would pour, and he would walk around the club, and he'd pour like every bartender, everybody, these tiny little, like Cap, your description's correct. If you ever go to a restaurant and you get like the little coffee creamers, that's the size of the cup. So we're not even talking about like an ounce. We're talking about like maybe like a quarter of an ounce that you would get in this tiny little cup, and they would literally sip it, like for like 5 minutes, take kind of like little sips of it. And they would be wired all night. And then sometimes you would go to like, there'd be these little cigar shops also on South Beach. And you would see these old like Latin dudes smoking cigars, playing chess or cards, sipping on these tiny little things, these tiny little cups that barely fit in their fingers of colada. And they, and then you have tourists that come like you guys, and they're like pounding them back like shots of tequila. And then after you've had like 3 or 4 of them, they're bouncing off the walls. They're like their jaws like chattering because they just don't realize. Like I've watched like old Cuban grandmas make this stuff. It's an art form. Like to make a colada the right way, it's an art form. Like the temperature, the way you have to mix it to get that like foam on top. But yeah, it is probably, people are like, oh, I drink espresso all the time after dinner. I can drink a colada. It's like a total different world. Yeah. Espressos and coladas are not even on the same planet.
I agree wholeheartedly. Like it is like I could drink a quad espresso and feel like a little bit, but I'd be fine. I consume copious amounts of caffeine. I should disclaimer. Man, I'm like I can taste the colada right now. Like I'm so excited for this colada at lunch. Like it is, to Joey's point, it's an art, it's a skill to make these things. It's just, I've made it at home. Like one of my Cuban buddies, or it's from his family's from Cuba. He bought me a at-home colada maker device, and I've made them and they're okay. But to do it like the authentic way, it takes like the experienced colada makers they'll run circles around you. And it is not only the strongest, but I think it's the best tasting coffee I've ever had.
Well, it's because it's got like half a pound of sugar in it. So like it tastes so good because it can not taste bad when you put that much sugar. And for those that don't know, you don't make coladas in a coffee machine. Mm-hmm. It's made on like a what are those pots called?
It's like a prep.
Yeah, like a prep, yeah. Right?
But no,
you like literally boil it.
No, yeah, it's no. I was gonna say I'm going to go ahead and make an executive decision to get us off colada talk because Cap's getting all juiced up over here, getting a little bit too excited about coladas. He's pulling up colada makers on stream. He's going, and we've collided with Captain for about a half hour now. So I'm going to get us off it. Just to get into some of the stuff, but Cap is just getting all excited over here, all hot and bothered, looking at a colada maker and thinking about upgrading his colada
true
game.
Story. When I kid you not, the day I bought the buy one get one cold brew at Publix, they also had buy one get one on the Cuban coffee that's like hard pressed, packed, like vacuum sealed. And I almost bought that, but I'm like, I don't need all this caffeine in my life. And by the way, if I bought 2 of these things, like 2 bricks of Cuban coffee would last like 7 months. So I passed on the Cuban coffee from Publix, the buy one get one deal, in favor of the cold brew. And I think my reward today is like, here's the question for the chat, and then the last thing on Colada, and we'll get to serious business here.
Yeah, what's the cold brew you bought at Publix? My wife wants to know.
I'll go grab it in a second. But the last Colada talk is, if anyone can guess the exact amount of Colada shots that I drink today over lunch, you'll get 100 bonus points tomorrow. Drop your guess on how many Colada shots I will consume at lunch today. Steve, I'm going to hand you back the mic. Get us onto some Web3 business here. We got 28 minutes left before you got to bounce, and I'm going to go grab the cold brew.
Yeah, Cap's going to go the cold brew. So on my list today, I got my little DeFi update. We got to talk about Adam Weitsman making a big bet and purchasing 5,000 Otherdeeds, Mega Kodas, Weapons, Kodas, all from Yuga Labs directly. What that means, they use the partner language. Feels pretty interesting. Lots of guesses in the chat. Teacher Katie on the 5, beat Peace Frog to a Jambert on 3, Diablito going 6 on the guesses on Coladas. Tom Lee announcing almost $3 billion in ETH holdings. Pretty crazy. Again, like it's he just continues to buy that dip. Phantom acquiring Soul Sniper, a trading platform on Sol, making me think that, Phantom now maybe entering the chat with OpenSea, Magic Eden, some of these sort of everything apps that we're looking at. And I think we talked about REKT a little bit, and why not REKT a billion? I'm going to start, though, by the DeFi summer thing that Cap said. As I've been getting into DeFi lately, I've been thank you, Dort. Dort's like, any news in Web3. Dort saw me trying to get in on this one and moving it along. The DeFi thing is interesting to me. So back when we were back in the like in say 2021, 2022, we were chasing companies. It is busy cold brew is what Cap is showing. So there you go. That is the Cool Kids cold brew.
Back 275 milligrams of caffeine in a 12-ounce serving.
That's actually, I don't think that's like your daily entirety. I have to check how many milligrams caffeine in Starbucks cold brew. I feel like it's like more than that, if not the same. No, it's a 205 in Starbucks Grande. Oh, is that a Grande Pike? In a Grande Pike. Yeah, Grande Pike, this right here, what I'm drinking right now.
Yeah, but that's 20 ounces is a Grande?
16.
Okay.
So I see what you're saying. That's 12 ounces, you said?
Yeah.
Serving? Oh, shit.
So
yeah,
like a regular cup of coffee is like, a regular cup of coffee is like 100 or less usually, right?
Yeah. Let's say in Starbucks.
Well, I don't know. Google's saying it's anywhere between 120 or 95 to 247.
Yeah, this is like 250 plus. So like it's not crazy compared to a Starbucks just Pike place.
Yeah, the show is called Coffee with Captain, so stop fighting our coffee talk. I don't know what you showed up for. Like, look at the title, buddy.
Yeah. Cap's spicy this morning. He's going after the war room. Cap's had enough. What I was gonna say is like, though,
I got ignored for the first time ever. I felt like this morning. Shout out to Thomas again for coming through.
Yeah, I was out and about bouncing too and gotten a little bit later. But look, I want to get into this idea. You said DeFi summer. Back in 2021, 2022. In the NFT summer, because I was around in 2016 buying Bitcoin, buying ETH, or 2017, whatever that time frame was, and eventually sort of ended up selling it and wasn't involved, didn't have this community. So I wasn't really crazy involved then. It was Coinbase. 2021, 2022, I was involved, but it was all NFT stuff, maybe occasionally buying a meme coin on ETH. I think, back then you'd be grinding for Discord slots, you're trying to know the hot mint, you want to be around the smart people for that. Now it's like all the airdrop farming opportunity exists in the DeFi streets. It's like, again, for example, I'm sitting on, Hyperliquid for the first time, and I'm not going to get any big hype drops. But I mean, you look at it, and this morning I was listening to B-Check and Legendary who are big on it, and they're like, yeah, like hype, there's still the opportunity on Kinetic and, Liminal and Hyperlend, all of which I'm playing around in. I'm not playing on the whatever the JPX one, the new one that everyone got hyped on. There's no yield, just points. So it's like, I don't know, like I get it, but like I'm not trying to like
Project X.
Yeah, there's like as I understand it, there's no
going
yield.
to be there's going to be an airdrop there.
Right, but I can't compete with the whales there, and I'm looking yield first, airdrop second, right? Like that's kind of the way I'm approaching this thing. But to your point, and I don't know how deep you are on some of the things that, some of the different places I've been, looking and staking, even with Flow, like I don't know what's going on in Flow. I was actually trying to get some alpha yesterday from some folks and failed to do so. But, Flow has been pushing Anchor and more markets and, Kitty Punch and some of these other, platforms. It's like, maybe there's an airdrop coming there and there's maybe not as many people getting involved with it. So I'm kind of looking yield first, airdrop second, and places to sort of park my money to do more work. I also am looking for minimal amount of work. And I will say the only thing I have to babysit is my Sol USDC. I've never rooted for Chop more than I have in Sol and USDC liquidity pool, because I'm sitting here just like, if it goes up, then I have to like rebalance. I get the impermanent loss. I, rebalance. I've still made more with the fees. But you just root for volume and Chop like crazy when you're LPing. And I thought like I opened up a big wide position in a liquidity pool. So I was thinking like, but then Sol ran like 10, 15%. So then I needed to close it and reopen another position. So generally speaking, though, I know Meteora's got the airdrop potentially coming. Lots of stuff potentially in Hyperliquid. So I've been playing around quite a bit in those.
How did you decide Flow and Sol are two? You just staked what you had, or did you go buy Flow and Solana to put into?
So a couple of things. I had a lot for me, a lot of ETH locked up in Coinbase, and it's a 21-day staking period. So I've done nothing with that. Bitcoin is far more complicated and generally requires more. You got to convert from ETH anyway. So until I get involved, until I have my ETH unstaked, I'm going to wait and do that. I'm probably going to go EtherFi, just straight keep it simple on that one, and LP on EtherFi with a small amount there. Sol is something that's really easy. I already had it. Flow, honestly, Flow was partially, I'm trying to unlock their rewards. So the reward system has this, if you go to like Flow rewards, they have keys, they have boxes, and they have points. The points allow you to get things like iPads and Xbox. I think when I unlock all my boxes, I have enough to get like an Xbox Series X if I want to.
No shit.
Yeah, here, I'll show you real quick what it looks like. So basically,
so you're telling me like
you may have you gone to the Flow reward store?
Well, no, I did. I have actually. I absolutely have. I don't have nearly that much, and how I interpret this is you're telling me if we do another round of Coffee with Captain, we should do that for my account.
I don't think it came from there because I was pretty active on BZ and I've been active on Flow before. So I have all these points. Each one of these keys will unlock a box that's worth 5 points each. So when you go to the reward store, in the store, I'll have like enough points. I have like 775,000 points. So I could get an Xbox Series X. I'm close to the AirPods Max, which I don't want.
Pretty sweet, man.
Yeah. Well, and it's like, it's a different kind of farming, right? Because it's literally stuff I was doing anyway. And so as I started exploring around,
real quick and I'll let you finish. I think more farming should go this route. I think this is actually much more attractive to most non-crypto participants than is a future TGE with some coin that they have no idea what it's going to be worth. People can like, I'm gonna spend all this, get all these points to someday I'll get some magical internet money that might be worth $7. It might be worth $7,000. While we probably prefer the upside of the $7,000 versus an Xbox, your person who's not here, your normal human beings, they can quickly they know how much the value of an Xbox. They know, like, and this is also what they're used to. Like I've shared like my cash out my DraftKings crowns for a robot vacuum cleaner that's like retails for $800. That's cool. I got an $800 gift from using their platform. I think more crypto native brands. Now I know Flow's already had their TGE, so they don't really have a choice. Or I don't know, maybe they're sitting on a ton of Flow. I do think this is. I think there's a world we see more of this. Is my long story. I think we see a world of even pre-TGE crypto native companies, and maybe it's a blend. Maybe it's some token, some rewards. But you talk about like the points on Project X. If X had a site like this that you knew what you were getting these points for, maybe it changes your mind. No.
Could you imagine I DeFi my way into an iPad 11-inch Pro 512 gigabyte? Like, I mean, like, you know, but like this is kind of like, I agree. And it's, by the way, par for the course with Flow, right? Flow has been very much approachable by people with NBA Top Shot, Disney, NFL all day, right? Like, Ticketmaster, like that's their, but yeah, it's kind of cool because, you have this referral link. I used it for a couple people. By the way, I'm going to do this right now. I never do this. If you are not in the Flow Rewards program and you even plan on participating at all, I'm just going to put in the chat because I've been talking about it. My Flow here, link to Flow Rewards. And then I'm going to pin it to the top because if you're at all thinking about this, it is worth doing if you play around on Flow at all in any way whatsoever. I'm going to pin it to the top while I stall here. But like, to your point, yeah, it's like there is, these things that everyday people can understand. And by the way, again, you talk about things you're doing anyway. One, there is a chance. I'm not saying this. I have no idea, and I definitely have no alpha. There's a chance that there's airdrops on these things, right? There's a chance that there's airdrops on some of these sites, Anchor, Kitty Punch, which I haven't used yet, but more markets, which they've been pushing really hard. And again, like I look at it, the reason I got on it is, so to answer your question, if you look at it, I have 124,000 keys, and I only have like a certain amount of boxes, which every day they reset and unlock these boxes. Some of the things you can do, which it hasn't registered yet, when they do the reset, it'll register, is I have, let me go down and see if I can find where I'm at. So basically these different quests can get you boxes, keys. So just bridging over to Flow gets you some boxes, but the relay bridge will take like $10 going back and forth. So you can't just bridge back and forth. It gets a little bit messy there. Putting money on, like depositing onto the USD vault. So this Tau Labs USD vault cap that I'm looking at right now, it gets you 15%, 14 to 15% yield on your stable coins. Okay. So I can put stable coins in there for 14, 15% yield and get 2 boxes per dollar per day on there. So I'm probably going to move some money on there to kind of open up these boxes and move myself along. I also have money on, and I got to look to see if I can find where my active boxes, Anchor Flow, earn 16 boxes per day for each 1K of Anchor Flow you have. I'm earning 9% on Anchor Flow. So basically, I'm earning 9 to 10% by having Flow staked on Anchor. That's one place. That's getting me boxes. And then I have money sitting in a vault earning 15%. So I'm earning, potentially moving towards an airdrop and opening these boxes to get these rewards. Point is, this Flow reward system, and again, I pinned to the top, if you haven't looked at it, my link, it's in the replies. So Jambert, other people, etc. If you are looking for a link to get on the Flow reward store, please use my link because I get a percentage of points, and I appreciate that you guys are looking at it. I think a lot of people are interested in this. And by the way, again, I got points for basically just using Beezy. They have places where you can vault NBA Top Shot moments, sell, buy, and own NBA Top Shot moments on OpenSea and get points and keys. And there's check-ins. There's a daily active user. So at least for my money, it's something that I can work towards, and I can potentially get myself an iPad while working towards an airdrop. And by the way, just participate in the DeFi. Like, I'm considering moving even more money over there just to continue to stack boxes and keys, because if I'm working towards a potential airdrop, but I'm already earning yield, it's a place that I kind of started to park. So it's a place that I think a lot of people aren't talking about. But, and by the way, I don't think it's an accident. I put out a tweet yesterday, which we can talk about Flow and, Flow and Polygon being underrated. It cooked. There are communities there that we don't talk about or know. So anyway, long story short, to answer your question, as far as airdrop summer goes, DeFi summer goes again. I put my money there towards a couple of things. Flow is one of the places I'm exploring, but it's basically like I'll be on ETH pretty soon. I think once I get some ETH and Bitcoin exposure, I'm going to chill the fuck out and just like let my stuff sit. But I'm addicted to LPing already. I like Meteor LPing. I like checking it, watching the fees compile up. They automatically reinvest when you claim them, and then you look for the chop. But Joey Valls, I know you probably have some thoughts on the Flow community store, as well as anything else, honestly. I know you're kind of curious about the DeFi journey as well here, so get back in here.
Yeah. So first off, thank you for sharing everything, because I don't have the time to do all this research, and I have so much. I basically just talked about it on the show, right? Like every week I DeFi into Bitcoin, and I mean DCA into Bitcoin and ETH and Sol and a bunch of other ones, and it just sits there, right? Like not earning at all. And I think about like, man, if I would have started this 2 years ago when I started DCAing into all these, where I would be at now. So thank you for sharing. Just another benefit of being a member of the War Room is you get to see Steve, you get to see all of Steve's plays if you want to copy him on the DeFi journey. But on the Flow thing, Cap, so Steve and I were having a conversation when he was trying to unlock these boxes, and we were kind of going through the process of like earning keys and boxes and points, and we were like, man, you know, like this is kind of difficult and this and whatever. So I had a whole conversation with Dude Lifts and gave him some feedback about like, you know, our experience and what we thought. And then Dude Lifts basically broke it down for us and on like why they created this system of like keys and boxes versus like a point system, which we normally see where like we're blasted. It was like you just earn points, right? Like whatever. And you know, their thought process is like, yeah, there's some really easy things for you to do to go earn points and keys, right? Like you can just follow a page, just visit a website, right? But then if you really want to learn about Flow, like Steve's saying, you got to go and dive a little deeper. You got to stake some things. You got to LP some things. You got to, right? Like all of these, like actually getting to use the blockchain is where you'll earn boxes. So boxes are harder to earn than keys for a reason, because they want you to actually explore all the different dApps and what's going on the chain. So now, you know, Steve looks at it and says, I have 170,000 keys, right? 170,000 times 5, right? So that's about 850,000 points. Well, now I got to go earn boxes. How do I earn boxes? I actually need to explore the Flow blockchain and their dApps and do some things. So this thought process where I originally was of like, man, this is just tedious and annoying having to earn keys and boxes. When Dude Lift explained it to me, it totally made sense, right? Like, yeah, here's all these keys that can get you all that unlock these points for you. But now we want you to actually explore our blockchain. And I love the reward store because it's things that people actually care about, right? Like you said, Steve, you could potentially work your way up all the way to an iPad, right? That's like it's a huge return and you're, like you said, you're earning 9%. So Flow is doing a lot of cool things. They don't get talked about a lot because it's not, you know, it's not one of the banner blockchains, but there's a reason why we at Beezy chose Flow, and it's because they've been doing consumer before consumer crypto was even a conversation. And they're continuing to excel in the consumer crypto space.
Yeah, I agree. I think like the one thing I would say, like feedback on the feedback, right? It's like kind of you said like, hey, why would you do this? Yada yada yada. By the way, I'm not eligible for town, so RIP me. Nothing on the airdrop there. You know, should have participated more and paid more attention. Bad job out of me. You know, the thing I would add to it, to the point Joey said, like the one thing I would say is like, not everybody's going to have the DeFi support or have the DeFi system. So if I would say a level up for that would be, if you're going to get all these keys by participating in consumer stuff, then they're trying to get people in the, you know, in the, I would say not everybody's going to want to go into DeFi, number one. Number two, if you're going to do that, you need really clear explainers, right? Because for example, there is one that does, what's the term? Because I just learned this one recently. Phonics tried to explain it to me. There's one place where you can get a whole bunch of boxes, but they have leverage loops, right? And leverage loops, somebody could deposit $1,000 in there and suddenly wake up and it's $50 because there's violent movement in the price because you're basically letting someone else play with your liquid. So like, again, like that part is, I think, like you want to be careful with like how that stuff goes. Like you don't want someone to get wrecked trying to get the box. So I think like that part becomes important and everybody wants to get into it. So anyway, long story short, I think there is probably some opportunity there in general, but I don't know. we'll have to figure that out. But saw Mackie come up here as well. Mackie, I don't know if you're telling me that there is yield happening on PJX, but my understanding is it is just points, and I had a couple of people say something similar. So I don't know. You tell me.
I came up to say, we can talk about that, but I wanted to point out that you like Flow. You worked at Progressive, who also has Flow. I think you just are really into Flow. That's why you're there and hanging out. But Project X, I'm making yield on my LP positions. So I don't know who told you that there wasn't LP yield. I'm also getting points, so that's nice. Like I think they're paying out so they have like fees listed on the dashboard. I'm not in front of it right now, but I know I've seen them post like 100K fees, kind of graphics and stuff. There's money definitely coming out of the LP positions there.
I need to look at that then. I got bad information. That might have been not from so I have this combination of my communities and ChatGPT ors, and it might have been ChatGPT that told me, but I need to.
I use ChatGPT too, and it's wrong a lot on the niche stuff like this. So like, especially like when I was starting the LP positioning, I was like, you know what? I'm uncomfortable. I need a support system. I'm just going to talk to Chatty about this. It's insane, the things that we share with ChatGPT. It's really probably not great, but that's neither here nor there. It has been wrong several times, and you just have to do your best to like logic it out from there, I think.
Yeah, I need to look because I will LP a small amount in there if I want to, like maybe a hype US DTO, because I'm probably okay kind of sliding both ends of that. Yeah, maybe it actually has some APY. So that's going to be on my list. That is now on my list. A couple of people have told me that, and I'm like, because I thought it was just like you were locking money up and you were getting points for a big airdrop. If there's fees on there, that's going to enter my short list.
Kinetic, the Kinetic VK hype vault. So like when you make K hype, you deposit hype into K hype, and then my understanding. Yeah, exactly. You're restaking it into what's called, then you get VK hype. They have a vault with, I can't remember the platform, but I know that's how you get K hype points. You can even just, if you don't want to deposit, you can even just trade and swap hype to K hype on Project X2, and you get fees, or you get points for the swap then as well. So you pick your poison, which route you want to go. I don't know how Kinetic will value people who've deposited directly, but that's the airdrop game, right?
Yeah, I'm in the Kinetic streets as well. So for people who are keeping track out there, and by the way, we always say this is not financial advice. This is like because this is very risky, and protocol risk especially. There's one of these that happens, it feels like once every 6 months to a year. So just be very careful out there. That's why I spread it and don't go all in on anything in particular. I've got like Meteor LP. I've got Soul staked on Jido. Jido again. I always forget. I think it's Jido. I'm Cap's laughing at me now because now I'm the one who can't pronounce shit. He's like, well, how the turntables? Well. Anchor. I'm on Anchor, as I mentioned, on Flow. Shout out to Von Fronten for my hair, saying I have great flow. Maybe that's why I like Flow. Kinetic, I'm on as well. I'm doing the double stake on there, earning that 67%. USDF on more DeFi on Flow. Liminal, which is just lending, and Hyperlend, which is just lending. Again, just spreading out some airdrop stuff. Based on Mackie's feedback this morning, which I appreciate, like I got bad advice, I think, from ChatGPT on this one, because I had a bunch of people saying Project X. I'm like, why are you telling me to do that? I can lock up my money elsewhere. So again, I'll probably open a small position there, not anything too huge, but I'm trying to do it where it's like, if I'm earning fees anyway, and if I end up making a little bit of money, like the thing about DeFi that's really interesting is comparatively to NFTs, where you're waiting for an airdrop and you're doing the math of like, was my anime airdrop worth the Azukis I bought? Very different situation here, where you have this thought process where it's like you earn fees and then get a drop. So any drop you get is kind of bonus at that point, unless, because you're holding assets you already believe in. It's not like Sol and USDT are going to tank, obviously USDT being pegged to the dollar. All of those things are going to, are going to continue to hold their normal value no matter what. So it's like it's a new type of thing that I'm trying to play around with. Again, I'm just learning, gonna share. But Mackie, appreciate the alpha there, because when you're like said there was fees, I was like, well, that was something that I wasn't thinking was the case, and I've been saying that to people, and people probably think I'm insane, but all part of the learning process. Another part of the learning process, by the way, is I thought shout out to Husker. I thought I was going to restake my Husker absolutely saved me on this one. I had the Anchor Flow, which was earning 9 to 10%, and then I'm like, oh cool, just like just like Kinetic, I can restake it on this other site and earn a little bit more yield on top of it, like 3-4% a year. Turns out when I restake it, I'm no longer getting the 8-9%. It's different type of liquid staking, so all the way out on that. So anyway, earning all the points, doing all our things. But thank you, Mackie. It sounds like you're way more advanced in your DeFi journey than me, so appreciate you giving me the.
No, I'm just focused on Project X. That's all. I'm just focused on Project X. So I think one of the pitfalls of doing the route that you are, Steve, is you need to be really meticulous about where your shit is, because I know you are decentralizing your risk by being on different platforms, but also like building a daily job to do at the same time, especially if you're checking regularly. The other thing that is a big pitfall about LPing is that when you take, at least on Project X, because all of them are different, I heard you say when you claim your LP fees on Flow's situation, it actually folds it back in to your LP and automatically does all that. On Project X, there isn't that feature yet. I'm sure there will be in the future, but so I have to go in and swap things to rebalance. So I have like an Excel sheet that calculates stuff for me, which is a great tool to build. Happy to share it for anybody who wants to ask for it, but no one has. So I'm also not.
I am asking for it because I have the most.
It does.
I am asking for it, Mackie, because I know that you are a freak in the sheets, and the Excel sheets, as it were. And I have.
I'm a freak in the sheets.
I almost got, when Mackie was working with me at one point on Starbucks, I was going to get him a mug that said "freak in the sheets" at one point, and then we all everything went haywire, and I was looking for a job, and Mackie was looking for a job, and but yeah, I had a freak in the sheets a mug that I want to get him just because he was so good at it. But yeah, I will take it because I have a very janky Excel sheet that tries to track
the important part. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, I'll make a Google Sheet template that's just blank and tell you how to fill it out and stuff. It shouldn't be too hard. But the problem with on Project X is that you have to do the rebalancing yourself, and that means that you are making swaps, and that means you are creating taxable events. So I am feeling anxious about that is what I'll say, but hopefully tax law changes before the end of the year. I don't know. It's a kind of a shot in the dark hope, but hey, here we are.
It's a problem for future you, Mackie. Don't worry about it now. While we
yes, I'll be able to afford tax help.
yeah, it's a problem for future you. There's But yeah, so Cap, I guess before I jump out of here, because I know I'm going to jump out probably around 9, you're going to get a guest coming in. I think the biggest thing, we can probably push the REKT one to tomorrow because it's an evergreens discussion we were having beforehand as well.
All-time high. Congratulations to REKT enjoyers.
And I can't bring myself to bring it off the table, even though it's such a big position disproportionately, and it's a bad idea and goes against everything I say. But
good idea. Not
higher we go.
Less than a 2x away from a billion now. That's programmed.
Yeah, and at that point, it's then as we approach that, I will definitely be taking some off the table. Trimming some positions.
Last question on Towns before we move away from that. Where do you check the claim?
Dort dropped a link in the war room. I get 0, so I'm out. Unfortunately for me. What real thoughts before I go? I can go a couple minutes over 9. What are your thoughts on the big Adam Weitsman, Otherdeeds, Kodas? Everyone's calling him a partner in Yuga. What do you think? Any thoughts on that? I mean, I have some, but I'm curious your thoughts.
I think it's good. I mean, I'm not reading too much into it. I think it's someone of high net worth, and he is doubling down on an ecosystem he's very clearly bullish on, and he's already very much so vested. If you're not familiar, he bought the the one of one, the key, which turned into the one of one heavy metal from Mongrel, following the Dookie Dash. That was Dookie Dash, right? Anyways, he's deep in the ecosystem, has mega Kodas, has a lot of land. I'd be curious, like, what his actual plans are. Like, I don't think it's purely for like an investment or a flip, but I think it's just showing, hey, it's. And I also wouldn't be surprised if there was something else there. Like, part of the deal was he picks up a sliver of stake in, I don't know, maybe not Yuga, maybe ApeCo. I really don't know, but I think it's a positive. What's your thoughts?
I mean, my thoughts are like, I made this analogy yesterday. It's not a one-to-one analogy, so don't go running with this. But like, you know, I think, look, Otherside is fun. We like doing it with our friends. He loves the club. He loves the founders. If I had $1 billion, yeah, I'd be going out and I would be investing in things I love and trying to help it succeed. And in this case, I don't think Yuga has a problem with capital. Garga mentioned that capital is not a problem on multiple occasions, including this show. But I think, like, I made this analogy. South Park guys did an episode of Casa Bonita. They love Casa Bonita, and they felt like it was like not going the direction they wanted to. And so they bought Casa Bonita and moved it up and did some things with it, right? Not that he's buying it, but it's like, if Adam likes Otherside and Adam likes the club and Adam wants to help it succeed, like, I'm not saying that he's just throwing money away, but at the same time, like, dude, maybe just tossing some money towards something he loves and getting involved and has the ability to do so. And by the way, he can help it succeed by putting his capital to work and building it out and making it successful. So I'm pretty I don't know. I'm pretty you know, I don't think there's like a ton to read into it. Now, when they say partner and all their things, I'm thinking maybe he got like some sort of equity, something somewhere, but I don't know. But like I think in general, that's sort of my thinking is like, I think maybe, you know, he just has something he likes, he spent a little money on it, and now he's good, right? It's like, I don't think it's like a super deep thing. I think it's just he's excited about trying to get involved with something, and he likes the founders. He likes the platform. He wants to do stuff with his friends, and he has the ability to do it. And guess what? If I had billions, I would buy a sports team and go spend it on things like this where I can, you know, be more involved in things I love. So it seems like he's just basically one of us in that sense. No?
Yeah, no, I agree. I think it's just win-win for all parties involved. And I'm getting more and more like Otherside is quietly like, I should check more because I don't want to make a statement and someone takes out of context, or I get proven wrong when someone pulls the tape or the data. From what I've seen, and it's just launched, there's like Bathroom Blitz is, by the way, everyone playing the top 50 on Bathroom Blitz all got a nice little stimmy. I think it was about $400 or $500 maybe. Some ApeCoin for grinding out in the Bathroom Blitz. That seems to be going well. That's the first third-party deployment. But more like, to me, a bigger signal than the Bathroom Blitz and the early feedback on that, Steve, is there's people hopping in Otherside and casually playing. Like, hundreds of people were playing Red Light, Green Light the other night, like a Squid Games version. Like, there were hundreds of people got in a bubble, and then it was a race to get to an endpoint. Like, they're creating games in a metaverse. I've never been in, like, I was never in Sandbox or Decentraland and saw hundreds of people doing things all at once. Like, there's actual, these aren't directed by Yuga. These aren't planned. These aren't some big activation. It's just people enjoying hanging out with each other in a virtual world and having fun. And not that I spent a ton of time in Decentraland or Sandbox or any of these other earlier metaverses, but anytime I got in, there was like 7 people in there. There was just nothing going on. It's like, what do I do? And it's still very, 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 very early in the world of Otherside. But to see this sort of organic activity already, to me, it's a very bullish signal. People are having fun. People enjoy hanging out with each other in this digital environment, and make fun of it if it's not for you. You know, the ability to pull in your digital identity, your avatar, whether it's an ape or a Koda, or, you know, more coming soon. Maybe it's just us weirdos in this niche corner of the internet, Steve, but I think this stuff matters. Like, I think it's more powerful than just buying whatever skin for $9.99 on Fortnite that everyone can get. Like your unique identity matters in the metaverse, and I'm excited. I think it's off to a promising start, and sentiment is positive. And I wasn't expecting, like, I was hopeful that Bathroom Blitz would be an early hit. I was not expecting the organic grassroots community-led games and activations and just hanging out in there. Pretty impressive.
Yeah, something's going to happen as people age into this stuff. I've mentioned it before. It was a very, sort of like a joke when adults played video games that weren't Tetris or Dr. Mario in the 90s. Now adults just play video games with their friends and it's not a big deal. Like, I think kids age into things. I'll share this before I go, which I think Thread Guy probably is a little, like, I think he is still like maybe a disconnected on certain things because I don't agree with him on some of this based on his perspective. But I think the second half of this, I don't fully agree with. So I'll read this with Thread Guy and then I'll jump out of here. He goes, "It's impossible to fully comprehend unless you're under 25 and have been addicted to the internet your entire life that everyone under 25 is terminally addicted to the internet and has been their entire life. This is extremely bearish for society and extremely bullish for the internet. Internet assets, long tail risk. We know we will never be able to buy a house or live comfortably without some hyper gambling and luck. It's not a meme. Society right now has many parallels to late stage empires. I went outside this weekend and I'm under 25, so I'm qualified to speak on this. But just like the bull markets, the most money is made at the end. You kind of can't stop the trend no matter what you do. So might as well make a lot of it money and have some fun." I think he's a little disconnected. I don't think the money part exists. I don't think everyone's going to gamble. I don't think everybody goes that route. Like, there's an entire society. But the front half of that, people under the age of 25 are addicted to the internet and have been their entire life. Like, my kids just look at it as part of their life. It is an extension of them. They're always online. They're always doing things online. They learn technology quickly. I give them some ChatGPT instructions. They get it. I give ChatGPT instructions to my mom or her friends or the boomers. They just don't get it. So, like, you see that age gap and everything in between. And I do think that's a very real thing. Now, I don't agree with everybody's going to be gambling. Everybody's going to be like, there is still this like unhealthy thought process that, everyone's going to come and do meme coins and everybody's going to come and do, like, I think there are people who are going to do online finance and make money online. I don't think it's as wide as you think. Like, I think there is a level of being disconnected and out of touch with not only middle America, which we are in this space as a whole, or most of America, but being out of touch in general with normal human beings, even on the there's plenty of 13-year-olds I know who are on TikTok who are not looking to gamble online and meme coins. But the digital identity and avatar stuff is only going to continue because they all do that. So I'm going to jump and leave it on that. I'll let you react to that. But looking forward to setting back. So I may be back later, but probably will be back tomorrow.
Probably. Well, hopefully we'll see.
Well, I mean, probably won't be back today, but will be back tomorrow.
I got you. Yeah, no, I agree with both takes. I understand where Thread Guy is coming from, and I also think it may not be everyone, but I think it's a large portion of the younger generation that maybe might not be their focus, or like, I'm getting on the internet to make money today. But I think I saw something else recently. I'll see if I can find the article. It was someone talking about the little creepy Labubus. They were talking about Labubus and just this same idea of, well, the article actually said it's a sign of a upcoming recession because it's times like this where people, it's like a luxury item that when they can't afford other luxury items, they go like I'm going to buy this $20 quote unquote luxury item that might become $150,000 if I get lucky. I'll see if I can find the article to explain it much better than I, but we did have Simple Farmer join the stage. Simple Farmer, is the audio working now? Or did we figure out X as well? X has been giving us curveballs all week as well. So it's not just you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. GM.
I know the yield, the DeFi conversation got you excited a little bit ago. You want to swing back to that? What in particular piqued your interest, and any alpha or any wisdom you have to share? We greatly appreciate it. GM.
Absolutely. Yeah, it just felt like a bat signal in the sky when I heard the conversation. So I was like, let me come through. I think, when we think about DeFi yield, obviously Flow is doing really clever stuff, rewarding people with real world prizes instead of, just that straight yield. I think it's a good marketing plan, potentially actually saves them money. They probably get the prizes for less than they would be paying out that yield directly. So I think that was a super clever model, by the way. Just touch on that. We got to think with DeFi yield as we move forward in crypto. Right now, the majority of our yield is coming from essentially three things: speculation, so that's like perps; lending, so that's like Aave; or trading volume, right? And so what I'm always thinking about is where is this next trend of yield going to come from? Where's this next big amount of yield going to come from? Because right now we're doing a little bit of just kind of copying each other, right? It's like protocols copying other protocols and doing small twists on similar designs. And I think we're going to get to a point where we evolve with that. In terms of like where I would park, if I had a lot of BTC and ETH, especially if I'm not deep into stables at this point in the market, if you're bullish, I love on base, specifically on an aerodrome, the wrapped BTC wrapped ETH pair. I mean, that's pretty awesome because then your impermanent loss is more BTC or more ETH.
To do that real quick on Aerodrome, how are you getting your wrapped Bitcoin on base? Is there a simple process to do that?
So base already does support Bitcoin, as well as wrapped ETH. So you can just pick the two as a pair when you're creating an LP position. And I like V3 full range LP. I know you get a little bit thicker yield with the shorter ranges, but you also that lends to more impermanent loss.
Yeah, I mean that's probably my biggest opportunity in the DeFi world is making my Bitcoin productive, because today it is not. I'm just not. I don't know, and I guess you're saying so. Base already supporting Bitcoin. Are you like explain that to me? Like if are you buying Bitcoin on Coinbase, sending that to Base? What's the process of actually, or are you just buying Bitcoin directly on Base?
Yeah, so I'm not a Coinbase wallet user specifically, so I don't know exactly how the bridging process goes, but most chains have a wrapped version of Bitcoin, which is the same as regular Bitcoin. Essentially, there's a small amount of discrepancy on the price. So I can give you, for example, on ARB. On ARB, you would just go to Camelot, which is their main DEX on Base. You go to Aerodrome, and essentially you swap your Bitcoin into wrapped Bitcoin on the chain, and then you're able to pair that with ETH. The reason why I think this is a clever pair is because when you pair with stables, obviously any price action on the token is going to result in impermanent loss one way or another. With the wrapped ETH, wrapped BTC pair, you're essentially saying, okay, the impermanent loss I'm getting is just going to be contingent on, the dominance of BTC over ETH or vice versa. And in the meantime, you'll just be eating fat fees from that pool itself, because both ETH and BTC are heavily traded upon on all major chains, obviously. And that is going to be your main source of good yield.
Yeah, I love it. Well, I think we're gonna have to do like a DeFi. We should create a weekly DeFi segment now that Steve's getting into the streets, and I think maybe if you're up for it, maybe we can get you as a special recurring guest for a DeFi segment here.
Yeah, I would love that. And I think just for people who are relatively new to saying like, okay, where am I going to stake and earn yield? If you don't want to go directly to the source, the great thing is there's a lot of DeFi aggregators. So Pendle, for example, is an aggregator. And so you can stake there, and it pretty much deploys into the top DeFi protocols, and you get a piece of that yield from all of them. Also, I like Beefy Finance on Arbitrum.
What was the last one? Which one on ARB?
BP Finance. So BP Finance is actually going to show you your potential yield sources cross chain. So you get to see, what you can do on mainnet, what you can do on Base, on ARB, and it's going to show you which pools are providing the highest yield.
Love it. Yeah, we definitely need to expand this DeFi conversation. There's certainly money to be made, and I have I've been active. I've dabbled in the streets. It was probably before much in DeFi. Like I did played around, LP'd a few different things early, but probably my most of my DeFi last cycle was was really NFTFi, and just very simply put, pulling liquidity out of an asset, using that to trade, paying back the loan, rinse, repeat. And that's how I built my portfolio last cycle. Was, there was a big mint coming up. I'd pull some funds out, flip for a gain, pay off the loan, rinse, repeat, and just did that again and again and again. It's about the simplest form of, leveraging the assets you do hold to acquire and trade other assets. And there's risk with all this stuff, like not just protocol risk. Make sure you understand what you're getting into. If you have questions, ask. It is complex, but it probably seems more complex than it really is. It's just, you got to get through the steps. And after you're off and running, depending on what you're doing, not too much to stay on top of, but you need to be aware, because there's so many different ways to participate in DeFi. B-Epic, appreciate you. D-Epic said, sent you and Steve some SMP. What is SMP? I'm not familiar. And there's a little lag there, so I'll give that a second. We'll come back to the chat. I also said we had another guest, Blend Media. We'll get to you in a second here. I'm going to bounce around a little bit here, because we've hit on a few things that I didn't get the screens pulled up quick enough. But one, I just want to circle back to this Bathroom Blitz. We shouted out, it was actually 400 ApeCoin is what the top 50 received. This is from Dino Ponds here on the screen. It says, today I received 400 ApeCoin for simply playing Bathroom Blitz with my friends and having a blast doing it. Literally, all I've been doing is blasting my friends with rockets. Thank you, Otherside. I really didn't expect a reward, but I'm grateful to receive one. BB on top. 400 ApeCoin, 250 bucks, give or take. And this is where the power of bringing this stuff on chain is. Its rewards can be many things. It can be, like the flow rewards we were talking about earlier. It can be points leading up to a TGE. It can be third parties building on applications where that data is open and shared on a public ledger, and Otherside could reward those participants. Bathroom Blitz could reward those participants. Another third party that's building a different kind of game could reward those participants. Like we're starting to really see this vision of a circular economy in the metaverse, and it's getting me pretty excited. Simple Farmer, go ahead and get back in here, and then we'll go to Bloom in a minute, and we got, looks like another guest coming up as well.
Yeah, I think one thing is that, with that essentially airdrop to people who are participating in Bathroom Blitz, what they're signaling is for ApeCoin, and obviously Yuga Labs is like, okay, Otherside usage is a big priority for us. So I did just want to say, obviously, super bullish. I think it's a big signal that a high IQ, high net worth individual like Adam Weitsman came through and bought so many deeds. But also, I think there's a massive opportunity here, right? I think the person who bridges the gap, essentially, between blockchain and the other side, so between ApeChain and the other side, is going to end up doing really well.
Yeah, no, I wholeheartedly agree. Blim, I know you said you had some music. I don't mind letting you close down the space if you got a song or a record you want to play. We usually close down right around 10 o'clock. We'll see where we go today with Steve joining. But is there anything else you want to get on here, or do you just want to come and play a song later?
That's pretty much it. When the captain is speaking, I listen and I take the insights and the value. So thanks for having me up, and to all the listeners and speakers, and yes, thanks to the team too for the DeFi info. I'm just listening. I love to share my reggae track.
Cool. Thanks again. Yeah, getting the connection's not great. Getting a little cutting in and out there on the feedback. So I don't know if it's internet connection, or you maybe want to take a lap. I know Simple Farm was having some issues with X audio earlier. Sometimes the solve for that is leaving the space, force close the app, give it a few seconds, and then come back and join us. But or like I said, it might have just been a choppy internet connection. But if we can get that sorted out, happy to let you close out the show with some music later. And Dort says, I think someone was asking in abstract chat a little bit ago. Dort said, geez, 3D avatars are in Otherside now, and they look pretty dope. So congratulations to all the G's holders out there. So it's if anyone can correct me if I'm wrong, but it's apes, it's G's, and Kodas are the 3 avatars live in Otherside currently. Is that accurate? Am I missing any?
Meebits as well. And also, you don't have to have any NFT to try the other side right now. You can just use this avatar that they give you. But yeah, to get one of your own playable NFT avatars, it's Meebits, Kodas, Mutants, and Bored Apes, and now G's.
Yeah, awesome. Excited to see more come in there, and I'm not exaggerating. I am probably like Bathroom Blitz going well received. That's bullish, but I'm probably even more bullish on the organic, ground up, community inspired, community led fun games in there. That's just casual people getting in and having a good time together in this virtual world. Some part, you're welcome to hang out with us the rest of the morning if you'd like. I appreciate you coming up as always and adding some intelligence to the conversation. I will say one other thing I want to hit on, and I'll get your thoughts on this as well. I might have shared D-Farmer's post because he sums up my thoughts pretty well. I saw a few others pushing back on this also. Takashi Murakami has a mint on base, and it's rare that we'll FUD the project, but I think this is poor form. I said in the warm, it feels pretty grifty. Let me read Takashi's post first, and you tell me if this actually sounds like Takashi or somebody maybe sold his account or some middle manager. But anyways, it says we've just released our new NFT card collection. At this point, it feels like I, Takashi Murakami, am the only one left in the art world still putting out NFTs. Wrong, but okay. Just recently, we also released an NFT project by Mr. through my company. Creating art for me holds several meanings. One is to push forward at the cutting edge of times, to carve into uncharted territory and to create entirely new standards of value. Another is to engage in a profound exchange with the collective consciousness of people. So I'm trying to explore the relationship between collective value and beauty within the blockchain space. M-dash, if you know what that means, something that may not be understood now, but perhaps be recognized far in the future. Sure, it probably looks like fool's errand right now, yet I'm going to insist on being the fool all the way through. This time around, I clumsily used AI to animate illustrations of myself and my beloved late dog Palm as navigators, and we made them speak English for fun. I hope you enjoy. I believe he also used AI for this post here, but in January 2024, Takashi Palm released 108 flowers. Now they return, refreshed, expanded, and reborn. Murakami's universe grows with 108 flowers, revised NFTs, now minting as a part of on-chain summer on Base app. Drops, and there's the link. And this is like
released 108 flowers, featuring 108 unique Murakami flowers blossoms. And now, with 108 flowers revised, those flowers return, but in fresh, renewed appearances. This time.
That's enough. Sorry. So I wasn't a big fan when I saw it. My thoughts were feels pretty grifty. Also, it's just like his art's. I know he's a world-renowned artist. It's not my vibe, but teach their own. Art's subjective. D-Farmer coming in hot. You're so out of touch with reality, it's wild. You made your millions and left several times already. Unlike the people, artists, collectors that stayed here during the bear and created meaningful work that stays. Remember, the blockchain never forgets, and neither do we. Probably has enough clout. This thing mints out. I would love to see it not. And again, I don't know if I stopped sharing that a second ago. I'll pull it up again. It's just like this. It seems like it's pretty grifty. Nothing really new. I've seen other few takes like this as well, but yeah, not loving it. I don't wish anyone ill will, but I think sometimes the best for the space is mints like this that appear to be just a cash grab or low effort, regardless of who it's coming from. I think sometimes it's best that they don't mint out. They don't have success, and forces people to rethink how they're navigating this space. And yeah, again, everyone's free to experiment. This seems like a grifty one. Simple Farmer, I'm not sure. Are you familiar with Takashi Murakami? Are you any thoughts on this? Sorry to put you on the spot, but you're hanging out, so I'm going to ask.
Yeah, so sure. I'm not super familiar with the earlier collections, but just reading the baseline of this tweet here. I mean, it's pretty much starts with a logical fallacy known as straw man. So straw manning all other NFT collections as not being any type of art. I'm the only person doing art. I think as a founder, when you're making your argument for why people should mint or invest in your project, it should be based on your qualities and not based on trying to put down the rest of the communities that are actually working really hard too. So yeah, I thought that was a big red flag. And in terms of super popular KOLs, I think will still get their tokens to do well to get their NFT projects to mint out. But I don't think the quality of those users is going to be very high. So those are mostly going to be users looking for flips anyways.
Yep, I agree. The details on this, it's unlimited mint, unlimited packs, 5 cards per pack. In list price is 0.0014 ETH per pack. So it's about $5, 5 USD. So he's 2 days to go, already minted 10,000 packs or brought in like 50 grand. But I don't know, man. Just there's so much you can do on chain, and I'm not saying pack drops are bad. Just feels icky, the whole how it was positioned, the announcement, and would love to see more. Also, Dort, appreciate that. Mutants not yet rigged for Otherside, but they are coming soon. So mutants get a rock Murtis in there, other mutants soon, me bits as they said. So more coming to Otherside. Hopefully not 108 flowers revised. Even that itself, like, I don't know. It just rubbed me the wrong way. Not much more to say on it, but if there's already enjoyers out there, go do your thing, go get your packs, and good luck. Hope you pull a rare, but I don't even know if like, I don't even know what that would be. Like, what are your hopes if you do mint one of those? Is there some grail item in there? It just doesn't do better. That's my feedback to Takashi and his team, or whoever is running this stuff, is get in touch with the space. Like, this is not it. And maybe I'm overthinking it, and sell whatever you want on chain, and people can buy or choose to buy or not to buy, and this will be one I will choose to pass. I also got a glimpse of those G's in the other side, if anyone wants to see that. And if there's any, I've got a few other Ticklix items here today, but if there's, with Steve being out today, kind of open stage the last half hour of the show, if there's anything anyone wants to chat on in particular, has any questions, by all means, jump on up, and would love to have you join the conversation. This is from James Hall here, though, the G's on Ape. His astronaut spacesuit G's, and another one here, the service G's, looking like a big gorilla there in the other side. So continue to bring more assets into that world, and be excited to see what comes next now that things are live. And I know that there's still a lot of people that are waiting for like their SDK kit and want to build out. I'm excited to see like what's next after Bathroom Blitz. I think how they're doing it with releasing, strategically releasing a few at a time is probably good. You want to get, make sure you don't spread the users too thin with so many out of the gate. So I think the approach going, exceeding expectations as far as their launch goes, and checking out, catching up with Abstract. Yeah, yes, Cash Grab Satellite. Seems like not a lot of artists come when they think they can make money. That is total BS. It's kind of like how I felt as well. It's like guy left crypto, left Web3. Now that it's popping off again, comes back, and like that's, I guess, also fine, but don't position it as like you're the only one here, or that everyone else left, because it's just not factual. And it says, also getting some more info here, Jammer says the previous card release they did on blockchain, and it didn't do a whole lot. This whole post is pretty sad. Sounds like they are mad because they didn't sell as much as they hoped. Agreed. Yeah. Not So the last one didn't do as they expected, and they released another one that's basically the same thing, just called them revised. And I don't know, man, not my journey. Few other topics here as I shift gears. I'm trying to multitask and get a good screen share going here. I mentioned REKT all-time high. As I was searching, I just had Beeples every day from yesterday pull up. That was a distraction. I will let you each. I can't get the image out of my head now. I'll let you all go see that for your own if you'd like. I won't do that screen share. It is WNBA related for anyone that's been following that saga over there. The other stumbling here as I try to get my brain out of the Beeple every day. I mentioned earlier, REK hit all-time high this morning, went over 50. Actually, good. Let's do that. That'll help me reset and get back on the tracks here. Good time for a daily market update, and then we'll go to Saucier in a second. But let me play us in. We'll get a quick look at the market, and then we will be back for the home stretch of the show. We're going to go daily market update brought to you by ApeChain. ApeChain on top, not just the home of NFTs, but the home of Otherside.
The daily market update straight to your brain. Powered by ApeCoin, no hype, just gains. Moving on ApeChain, we bring in the heat. NFT spends alpha, never miss a beat. ApeChain on top, now we bringing the flex. The home of NFTs, these now what's next? Come on, my head top, but you want the time and chop off for one time.
Those 3D Gs do look good there. That was the that last image of the Mintify, or the ApeChain daily market update. G's sweeping the floor. Starting with those NFTs, we've got Moonbirds down 5% on the day to 2.63. Apes up 0.5% to 11.83. Pudgy's down 1% to 14.05. Based Style, assuming that's an NFT farm or an OpenSea farm based on the sales volume. Memes by 6529. 500 sales, caught a good amount of volume, up 10% of the day. I'm not sure if it was just another collector sweeping, or there's maybe there's a drop or a mint coming up. I'm not in that ecosystem. I'm not following it too close. It's one I like. I like how they've done it, how 6529 is going about it, but I'm just not. It's not one I only have so much time and liquid ETH. It's not one I have explored, but good increase on the day, and again some material volume. Little Pudgy's flat on the day, down 0.5% to 1.6. Milady's up 1%, and we had looks like maybe there was just one sale, I guess. Alpha Centurion Kid unique editions / one of ones. Looks like one sold for 26.9, or no, 26.9 is the floor. It says just one sale, so maybe a 50 ETH sale, big sale there in the fine art world. Gigaverse ROMs up 2% of the day, decent amount of volume. And then Mutants also up 1.5% to 1.75. If we head down and look at our favorite memes, Doge up 1% to 0.2, Sheeb flat, Pepe flat, Pingu down 3%, Bonk down 4%, Trump flat. I have to pull up a rec chart though, because we couldn't talk about them and not share the chart. Another all-time high, another green day, up 24%, up 7.7% on the day. And it is a beautiful chart. This thing is just immaculate. They hit, I think it was 13, 14 green days in a row, new all-time highs in a row, gave a little bit back. It now seems like the run of green days appears to be starting up again. A new streak is born here. You can see four green candles in a row in the daily, and up 7% on the day, cracked $500 million. And it's relative to a lot of the other coins, a lot of the other assets we talk about. To me, it screams that it is just not appropriately priced when you have a sound team, a sound product, a real business making money. And you can do the math. They're going to hit 1 million units this year. This is a premium product. They're not selling these things for 30 cents a can. The pack of 24 is $69.99 is the going rate. So if you call that almost $3 a unit, and they're well on their way to 1 million units in year one, that'd be $3 million, high margin $3 million on a beverage like this. So exciting to see the team continue to crush it. I'll post another. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but I will share on the screen real quick, and then we'll go to Saucier. But I just wanted to share. Here's a post from Greeny. Everyone calls them meme coins, but REKT and Pingu are showing what happens when tokens evolve into brands and IP. Here's the difference. Most founders chase quick liquidity. They farm engagement. They dump treasuries and then disappear when the hype cycle ends. Takashi. Consequently, holders, you are left with nothing. Then there are a rare few who actually give a damn about their communities. The ones who, 1, funnel revenue back into the business and holders. 2, stay transparent, even in the ugly moments. 3, work quietly in the shadows during hard times, not just when it's trending. 4, understand community success does not equal charity. It's a sustainable business model. That's what REKT and Pingu have nailed. They built trust by proving that they're in it for more than a quick pump and dump. They're founders who aspire big but remain down to earth and relatable. They know that in order for holders to thrive, the project itself must thrive. In crypto, you don't often get the chance to invest in a team the way you do in startups. Tokens are a bet we all take, and most teams aren't worth betting on. But every once in a while, you find teams like these, builders who stick around, innovate, and grind when no one's watching. That's where asymmetric upside lives. At the end of the day, charts go up and down, but strong founders with vision, transparency, and grit, they build things that last. That's why brand/IP tokens like REKT and Pingu are winning and will continue to do so. I've been beating the brand coin drum for a while, and I actually we got a video clip coming out this afternoon. Our guy Payne clipped up from a show here not too long ago. So I will continue that conversation here in a little bit when after the show wraps, and I'll get the video out there. But I wholeheartedly agree. Love to see a new all-time high. And I guess I let me quickly finish this update, and then we'll get to Saucier. Again, thanks for jumping up. Always a pleasure. Last thing on the daily market update. I guess Magic Internet Money, the wizard rune over there, it up on the day. All the other runes down except for Gizmo. And then on the majors, Bitcoin flat, ETH up 2% on the day to 36.31, XRP up 1%, Solana up 2%, Doge up 1%, Cardano flat on the day. The ones I'm tracking, I share my GM text this morning, was my iPhone widget was all green this morning. So nothing's up only forever, but it's hilarious to me that we did have, as Steve called it, a dip for ants towards the end of last week. And how many people who are here and active just started having seemed like a meltdown on the timeline. Oh, it's over, the top's in, and I don't know, man. Nothing changed. It's just a slight pullback. As from a macro standpoint, I believe everything is the same as it was, and we're back to continuing the up and to the right with a little bit of break in between. But that's our daily market update, brought to you by ApeChain, the home of Otherside. If you've not yet checked out Bathroom Blitz, get over there and do it. You get in the top 50. Well, anyone that was in the top 50 just cashed out 400 Ape, and I don't think that'll be the last rewards for active users on ApeChain. That said, Saucier, GM, always a pleasure. What brought you up this morning?
GM. I just thought I'd take advantage of the fact that you need some speakers today, maybe, and let you know what I've been working on. So I'm super not a dev at all. And I've been there's a Mind Studio. I don't know if you guys have heard of it or not. They do like non-code. You can build non-code AI agents, and I thought it was going to be crazy hard, but I actually was able to build, like, following their instructions and their tutorials and stuff, like 12 agents so far that actually do stuff.
Wow.
I'll put the link in the chat. They're offering a free boot camp. It's intense, but it's like work at your own pace. And for people who want to build like real AI agents that are helpful and don't know code, it's a really good way to go. The founder he was the CTO of MySpace, I think, and he worked at Google and I think AWS and some, stuff like that. They're super patient and willing to answer like all my non-dev questions. But it was surprisingly not that hard. I think the first 3 agents took me like, I don't know, like so many hours to build. I had to watch the videos over and over and slow them down and take notes like a boomer. And then the first 3 agents took forever, and the agents after that were really quick. Like I want to say it took me like 10 hours to build the first 3 and maybe like an hour to build the next 9. So it's pretty easy to follow, and it's really, really interesting. If anybody's interested in learning how to build agents, I'll put the link in the chat.
Yeah, very cool. We'll pin it up top in a second too. And it's non-studio?
Mind Studio. MIND.
Mind Studio.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah, I just put the link in. It's from the founder. It's for his LinkedIn, but you can sign up for the boot camp. I mean, their goal is to try to get people to get enterprise licenses for their companies and stuff, but anybody can learn how to code. Like if you don't want to do the boot camp, you can just watch look at the boot camp curriculum or just watch their videos on YouTube. But it's like, if I can do it, literally anybody can do it. It's pretty interesting.
Can I ask, you don't have to share all, but can I ask, what are some of the agents you built? Like what are some of the, is it something?
Yeah, sure. It's just the ones from the curriculum so far, but other people that are, more advanced or know about coding were able to build like much more useful ones. But I built one that was like, if you guys watch the show Chopped, so you build a query for people to read that just looks like a normal, maybe like a Google sheet, how they answer the questions and stuff, that you list ingredients that you have in your house and it'll come up with recipes for you. One that answers emails and you can actually send them out to your email list. I built one. Oh, this one was good. I pinned it to my Chrome extension, and it will summarize like any article, even to the length of a full book. So they have access to 90 plus, like ChatGPT and Claude, all the different versions and stuff. So you're able to use all of them without buying into each one. And they also have a free link where you can just do stuff, but it's really fun and it's pretty interesting. And for someone who's not a dev at all, or even that great on computers, to be able to build this stuff is pretty astonishing.
It's really cool. This chart here, if you're not watching the screen, it's you got on one side broad automation, on the other side you got AI automation, on the top you got easy to implement, on the bottom you got deep integrations. The ones that I've seen the most, or I'm familiar with, I guess you say, is Innate. Innate. I'm probably not even pronouncing it correctly. It seems like this is a leading one here. It's kind of right in the middle of the chart. Zapier I'm also familiar with, Make a little familiar with, and then Mind Studio all the way to the right and at the top right sector here, as far as like the easiest to implement and AI automation. I was following them. I wasn't familiar until you share, but like their thing here is, it says Mind Studio is specifically made for creation, deployment, and management of AI native agents. If you use platforms like Zapier, Make, Innate, you will find Mind Studio easier, faster, and more instrumented for building AI-powered workflows. So, have you attempted to build agents with Zapier, Innate, or any of these others? Have you used these other platforms?
No. I've been following Mind Studio for a while, and the boot camp actually forced me to go back and watch all the videos and like do the exercises and stuff. I haven't really played with the other ones.
Is the boot camp at your own pace? Is it like you just?
No, if you sign up for the boot camp, it's 30 days and it's intense. But all the videos that we're watching in the boot camp are really available on YouTube. So anybody can really do it, and then you could do it at your own pace and just figure it out. But it's like, I'm just saying, if I can do it, anyone can do it. Like it's pretty easy. I don't want to say easy, but it's fairly easy to create the agents through this. Like they walk you through it step by step.
Very cool. Sharing here the snapshot of the 30-day AI agent builder bootcamp. Do you want to become a certified AI agent builder? And when they say certified, I'm guessing that's Mind Studio is certifying you. So does that certification carry any weight?
Yeah.
Maybe not. But I think
this is the first cohort, so we'll see.
We will
see. They will certify you through them. But it's just fun to learn.
It is like you're learning a valuable skill, and they're banner at the top, become a certified AI agent builder in 30 days, apply to the free boot camp now. I think this is very much going to be a thing. I mean, people are doing it today. They're building AI agents for small, medium business. Some doing it for enterprise, sure. But I think becoming an expert in this arena, it's just like, are there no-code websites? Yeah, absolutely. You could use Claude to build a website now. That said, a lot of your small, medium businesses, they'll still pay for these services. They'll still pay for someone to do it, to build their AI agent. Like, hey, this is what I want to do. And even though it's easy, not every small, medium business owner is going to want to go through a 30-day boot camp. I think this is a very monetizable skill set that's only like the demand for this sort of work, these sort of jobs is only going to grow, I believe, as time moves forward. And the bullet points here again, if you're not looking in about the bootcamp, totally free of charge. Go to amateur to professional, certified AI agent builder in 30 days. Get a credentialed badge that verifies your certification. Be listed on our database of certified builders and eligible inbound leads of companies looking to help. So once you're certified, not only like maybe no one outside of Mind Studio cares that Mind Studio certified you, but at minimum, you're now eligible for inbound leads. Like, so they're like a top of funnel. And if you want to help these small, medium, maybe enterprise businesses build AI agents that help their organization, this is a path to learning how to do that as well as getting leads. So I think this is interesting to me. The model that they're building is intriguing. They close every organization's people that can build AI agents. I would agree. What's required of you? Be committed to investing a month to level up your skills. Be able to attend 6 Zoom sessions over 30 days. They're 1 to 2 hours each. Be committed to completing building assignments or homework, and be committed to taking a certification exam at the end of the month. Sounds pretty cool. We lost Saucier on stage, but appreciate you sharing, coming back up here. X has been a little finicky, but yeah, this is really interesting. Excited to talk with Bunchu about this on Thursday if he's able to join us this week. And yeah, very, very cool. Appreciate you sharing. And how far are you into your 30 days?
We just started, so we just had the second week. I'm in the second week.
Very
but
cool.
even if you don't want to do the boot camp, like every day I try to decide, like, is it worth all the time that I'm doing, or should I just pay someone else to like come up with the thing? But so you don't have to do the boot camp. You can just watch the videos and you'll be able to build stuff. I think this just for me, who didn't put a lot of time into it. I happen to have a little time the next couple weeks. It really forces me to watch the videos and play with the stuff. But if you're like any kind of native at this, you can just watch the videos and just practice building it yourself. It really lends itself to like beginners to be able to do it. And people on there have built all kinds of crazy stuff. You can also use the stuff that people did build on there. You can use that for your stuff, or you can remix it. Like you can copy some of them. You can copy what they built and then tailor it to what you need. So the site is actually really cool.
It's awesome.
But thanks.
And it is impactful. Like this is something I've talked about doing. I've dabbled, played around a little bit. I know I should be doing more of. And candidly, the only excuse, I just haven't got started. Like I use AI daily, but I haven't got into the mindset of, okay, I'm going to use AI on a regular basis to build a productive AI agent that's going to help me in a recurring task. Like you talk about email and like that sort of stuff. Like it, I'm interested. I'm intrigued. It would be helpful. I just haven't set aside the time to get it set up, to learn the basics, and something like this will kind of force that habit. And yeah, I very well may be, jumping in that this afternoon as well. Got a couple other topics here. About 10 minutes left. I'm gonna maybe rapid fire. Jambert asks, has there been any mention of the Binance REKT drop? We hit on it, I think, like actual drop day, but what I did share up top, I pinned the REKT drinks. Yesterday, they released episode 3 of Get REKT or Die Trying, kind of like a behind the scenes for REKT. And the title, Making a $50 billion Cryptocurrency. So when we say many billions, might be undershooting them at $1 billion plus if 50 billion is the threshold. But no, more exciting stuff. And I'm also a fan of these behind the scenes we talk a lot about building in public. Very few teams here have actually built in public. A lot of them talk about building with their community. Few have done it or done it well. And just part of what makes me so bullish is not just price action and number go up, good tech, but how they're going about it is, I don't think that's getting enough credit. Someone said it's priced like a meme today, not priced like a or like a meme that was launched by a KOL or a crypto Twitter influencer. It's not getting credit yet for having a strong, sound team that is, more than capable, or proved to be more than capable, and excited to see what they continue to do with this and what's next. Like, what do they go with after they run the course of these, the collaboration drops and all those out there after they hit their 1 million units in year one, where they go from there. Excited to follow along and support. And speaking of following along and support, I got to show my favorite website on the internet right now, strategicethreserve.xyz. Our guy Tom Lee in the news again with another ETH purchase. Is now Bitmine Immersion Tech now holds over $3 billion of ETH. That's up 410% in the last 30 days. That's 833,000 ETH for those keeping track at home. SharpLink Gaming, if you remember, wasn't too long ago. They were actually held more than Bitmine. This is the Joseph Lubin company that is that he's leading, and he's in the process of raising another 5 billion to go buy more ETH. So these two, not only do these two continue to leapfrog each other for the most ETH held in their strategic reserve treasuries, the Ether Machine, we have a new one on there now. That ticker is DYNX. They're also over $1 billion, leaping the Ethereum Foundation, who was third for the longest time behind just Bitmine and SBAT. Now DYNX is also over $1 billion with 1.25. And I think this sector of these corporations holding ETH as a strategic reserve, I mean, if no more join the fund, the ones you're looking at here in the top 11, top 12 are really material buy pressure. But I think, I think we'll get over 100. I don't know what timeline. Someone's got to go back and check the tapes there. I do think we get over 100 entities. Right now it's 66. We first started tracking this, it was about 40. And in addition to the strategic ETH reserve entities, I got to show, because July was almost perfect. I think July 1st was a net outflow day. And then every other day in July was green, meaning net inflows for the ETFs. To start August, we gave some of that back, not a ton, but down 42,000 outflows on the 1st. And then again, yesterday, another 133,000 ETH outflowed. So not the end of the world, but I talked a lot about the green July. I at least wanted to be fair and show the other side of it. We did flip red here. It does appear that most of the outflows was by ETHA, which they were one of the larger buyers last month. So it's early. I'm not reading too much into that on the ETH ETF front. I do think they'll continue to be. I would be surprised if we end August in like a net outflow at the month and a whole. But if you look at this chart here, I mean, you want to talk about up and to the right. The bottom is the ETFs, and you can see that until August there gave a little bit back. But the green is these strategic ETH reserves, which for all intents and purposes didn't even really exist in April, and have just continued to stack ETH and stack ETH and stack ETH. Now upwards of those 60, 66, 64, 65, it is almost 3 million ETH, or over $10 billion of ETH in these strategic reserve entities, which is already half that of the ETF reserves. There's 20 billion in ETFs, representing just under 5% of the supply. It's about 2.5% of the supply is being held by these strategic ETH reserve entities currently. So exciting times. I am very bullish ETH. Yeah, the site is insane. I agree. Kev, I mean, Yeah, I'll grab a picture of this tech setup. I will. I'm going to attempt to troubleshoot once we get the proper aux cable. But yeah, I'll give you a. And it's like not messy with intent. I tried to do, there's some cable ties and try to look as organized as possible, but it's not that great. Simple Farmer, go ahead and get back in here, and then we'll get Bloom back up here and see if he wants to play us out.
Yeah, I think what you mentioned is interesting there. It just makes me think right away with a lot of the, let's say, like the top 100 strongest tokens by market cap, as they start thinking about, okay, is our strategy going to be pushing hard to get an ETF first, or is actually a better strategy to support some kind of a treasury company instead, with starting them off with a baseline of OTC deals, and then of course they come in and add that bullish price action with the large buy pressure over time. So I think it's an interesting thing to think about, and it'll be interesting to see which tokens do better, at least short term, right? With, for example, with Pengu, with the Pengu ETF coming, will the tokens instead that have these treasury companies that form actually end up doing even better than the ETF launches?
I think they could, and I hadn't thought this until you just said that. I wonder if part of Adam's thought or play with the 5,000 other deeds and his bags in that ecosystem. I wonder if he's preparing for some sort of strategic Otherside reserve or strategic digital asset reserve, where it's a combination of Otherside assets and Ape and ETH and who else knows what he might put in there. But I wonder if he might be heading that route as well. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think that's a good read of that signal. I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah.
It usually starts with OTC deals, right?
Right.
So that was my read of the situation. And obviously, if that is a reserve, whether that would just be with NFT assets or potentially tokens as well, usually it's not one individual coming through. They essentially do fundraising rounds over and over again, and that's where a lot of this liquidity.
Yep. I think we lost you there on the audio front at the end, but got most of it, I believe. That also, by the way, that Bitmine at 3 billion of ETH, that's 0.69 of the entire ETH supply. Nice. Maybe that was us with intent buy there to hit that 0.69 mark. Towns, as we've been talking about, there's $1 million in towns up for grabs. I will. The 250 most staked towns deadline's October 5th. When you claim your airdrop, you choose a town to stake to, choose wisely. So it's like you're kind of betting on, like, if you're a Moonbird fan, you can stake it in the burbs, like so on and so forth. So yeah, I will be. Oh, we also got speaking of REKT, the kind of breaking news here. We got a free red light district drop. This is, not only is OSF a talented builder and founder, also a pretty sweet glitch artist. And here's this month's free red light district drop. If you're not familiar with red light district, this is one of his, I think maybe his first piece, and all the holders, get drops on occasion. And there's that one. So anyways, all that to be said, Blim, I saw you jump back up on stage. If you want to give us like 30, 60 seconds of a song to cue up the play out, I'm happy to let you give you the mic for a bit, and then I will come over top with our actual outro to officially shut things down. But as always, really appreciate everyone being here. Thanks so much for bearing with us through some technical challenges the last couple of days. Sounds like Bluetooth is sufficient for now, but I'm going to find a working one of these 3.5 millimeter to lightning cable auxes that can solve my connection problems here. And then Kev, we'll get a photo of of all the cables and cords once completed. But appreciate everyone being here as always. If you haven't yet hit the reminder for the rest of the week's shows, the carousel is pinned up top all the way to the right. I will drop that again to the left. And I did say we might have a special guest joining us today. I had to check on it, and good thing I checked, because they were not able to make it today. We are going to have the Lurky team join us on Friday. So if that's something you were interested in, not rugging you there, just coordinating schedules. They'll be here Friday around 9 a.m. I pinned this up top, but if you're not familiar with even what we're talking about, I would show you that quickly, and then Blim, I will hand it right to you to to play a quick bit. But this is what they are. What Lurky is building is audio mindshare. So we haven't been complaining about it, but the reality is all the content we put on Spaces is not captured in any of the InfoFi platforms yet. It's not captured in Kaido. Does nothing for, we could talk about Kaido and their leaderboards exclusively for 2 hours, and it would do nothing for us on their leaderboards or their mindshare rankings. Lurky attempting to fix that. It says mindshare means how much a person, project, or narrative dominates the public conversation, but when it's audio-based, it means who's being talked about the most and by whom. Lurky measures this through live index audio data from X Spaces, giving visibility into which speakers dominate certain narratives. Example, DeFi, Solana, meme coins, which products are consistently mentioned or praised, which topics are surging in real-time discussions. How Lurky tracks audio mindshare, listens to thousands of crypto spaces and captures mentions of tokens and projects, speaker participation frequency and topics, listener engagement and reaction, conversation clusters and narrative trends. All this turned into index data, charts, and summaries available in speaker profiles, dashboard, and APIs. Pretty cool, pretty excited, looking forward to learning more. And we will get the team on Friday to dive a little deeper. That said, Blim, thanks for jumping back up. You want to play us a bit here, and then, like I said, about 30, 60 seconds, and I will play the outro over top, if you don't mind.
Yes, sir. And thank you, Captain. Thanks for a very insightful space as per usual. I go by the name Blem Media, and of course, Blem is the acronym for Best Lifestyle Embracing Morals. And I am an audio engineer, music publisher, and I'm bringing my skills to the blockchain in terms of music, a replica of what you might see on BeatStars or any of those platforms, trying to authenticate it with decentralized finance. So with that being said, let's drop into the 30 seconds of the reggae. Here we go, Captain.
You got it.
Scatter the ants then. All right then.
DeFi, say I won't tell no lie. The blockchain said there is a limited supply. DeFi, say I won't tell no lie. The blockchain said there is a limited supply. DeFi, XR, DeFi, online, on-chain, Wi-Fi, DeFi. Captain said DeFi, quantum, phantom, Rolls Royce. I said browser, server, protocol. I said DeFi. Captain, coffee with Captain. Learning about DeFi. All right then. Give thanks and praises to the Most High. Captain, thank you for the listening ear. Of course, we're exploring the XRPL. And of course, thanks again for the chance on stage. And big up to all of the crypto enthusiasts. Of course, we're big on Ethereum too. And that was the chain that gave us the introduction to crypto. So yes, Captain, thanks again for the opportunity.
Hey, thanks for coming up and jamming with us. Appreciate you. Appreciate the support. And that was sweet, man. That was a banger. I didn't realize we're getting a freestyle. So that was pretty solid. Best of luck with all your building. And again, thanks for sharing. That said, my guy Steve's not here to send you off, but I'll do my best to send you off in his affectionate fashion. We appreciate all of you. Thanks so much for joining us today. Hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful day, everyone.
Thanks for tuning into Coffee with Captain, powered by ApeCoin. We hope you enjoyed the show, and remember, nothing we discussed today is financial advice. Until next time, keep exploring, stay curious, and we'll see you soon. Have a great day.
Welcome to the future.